All right, everyone, welcome to our June product call. This one is called Essential Oils for Pets, and I see some furry friends on the screen. Hopefully you can see it too in this recording. Thank you for taking the time to be on with us live. Hello to anybody who's catching the recording right now. I would really encourage you to take notes as we go. We do this in 30 minutes. We breeze right through what we have. Remember that you can find links to the things that we're sharing and talking about in the recording once it's posted in Fierce Oilers. So watch for it there, okay? And we'll put things in the chat box too. So in the next 30 minutes, we're going to spend a lot of time talking about how to use your doTERRA oils and products to support your pets. I think there can be a lot of really interesting information around this topic, and we want to make sure that you feel empowered and educated, not fearful, when it comes to using your oils for your furry friends. They really are a wonderful option to reach for, and I think I'm super confident that you'll know that by the end of our time together. So I don't have pets. I've already been outed, 100% outed. But okay, I'm just gonna be honest. I have kids, and most people view their pets as kids. So I feel like we've got a level playing field here. And can I just say, I would never ever use anything but doTERRA oils on my children, and the same should be true of your pets, okay? Only doTERRA oils. And I know you guys know this intuitively, but it just bears repeating briefly here. Purity is so critical. You need to know that in what is in that bottle is exactly what it says, that it is 100% pure and nothing else. And remember, with doTERRA, you can look up the test results at sourcetoyou.com, okay? And with doTERRA, you also know that the oils you're using are very potent, which helps you achieve the results that you want to achieve, okay? doTERRA will not compromise on purity and potency, and that's why we love them, right? So with your doTERRA oils in hand and some great education, you'll be able to love on your pets in some really amazing ways. I'm going to put a link in the chat box to just show some different research that's been done surrounding pets and oils for those of you who find that meaningful. I just put a couple links in a Google Doc so you can see it that way. But we've got a great lineup of speakers. We're going to talk through some different helpful topics, and Melissa's going to take it away for us.
So what I wanted to share with all of you is, yes, you can use essential oils the 3 ways that we teach. Remember, we talk about the 3 cool things and the 3 cool ways you can use essential oils. So you can use them aromatically in a diffuser or off of your hands for a pet to smell. You can use them topically. I would say you would dilute them the way you would for a child. So you would use 1 to 3 drops maybe in a teaspoon of oil. In other words, a little bit goes a long way. You would apply it, for example, to a dog. You could apply to the bottom of the pads. You can do just inside the tips of the ears, along the spine, along the fur, and maybe on the belly. So topically and internally, you can use oils in a capsule for some animals, depending on the animal, depending on the oil, right? And always doTERRA. And you can use, you can put it in their water too, okay? So just some thoughts for you. I'm gonna share my screen and tell you a must. Well, first I'm just gonna tell you, Dr. Janet Rourke, DVM, is a doctor of veterinary medicine, and she is the bomb. She has a paid Facebook group. I'm just going to show it to you right now. It's $9.99 per month. I am part of that group. This is what it offers you. I just want to show you. Here she is. She's amazing. So if you've got any kind of an animal, she talks about a llama, right? All sorts of things. You love your animals. You want to be the best advocate. You want an experienced veterinarian's advice. You want recipes and protocols. This is where you would go. I also wanted to show you, once you are a member and you can go into her groups here, or right here. Let me go here and show you. Just a second, I've got people I'm letting into the group. Okay, so why isn't it going, AIM? Oh, it's still thinking. Anyway, she's got these groups and all sorts of, oh, here we go. That you can go, then you go into the guides. Sorry, hold on. Having a hard time here. Anyway, it's not working. Anyway, I would encourage you to join that. It's worth the $9.99, okay? So I'm going to pass it off to Laura Whipperman, who's going to tell you a little bit more about diffusing.
Yeah, I am. First of all, before I get going on that, I'm going to just piggyback on what Melissa was talking about with Dr. Janet Rourke. I want to invite you all to a free webinar featuring Dr. Janet. She's the essential oil vet on how to become an animal essential oil expert. So that is on June 28th at 7 p.m. I believe that's a week from tonight. And I'll put the link in the chat for all of you pet lovers. There are so many on the call tonight. And she does have a free page too, where you can use as a springboard to decide if you want to get on the paid one. But this is a free webinar, so this would be a good thing for you to hop on. So it's really important to keep our pets in mind as we diffuse essential oils in our homes. And a really fun fact for you is that dogs and cats in particular, but a lot of pets, have very sensitive olfactory receptors. Dogs and cats have 200 to 300 million, and humans have 5 to 6 million. So do the math on that. That's like 40 to 50 times more sensitive than, 40 to 50 times more sensitive than what we can smell. Their sniffers are really good. So here are 3 tips for diffusing essential oils when you have pets in your home. First of all, number 1, make sure you got a lot of ventilation in that room where you're diffusing, and leave a way out for your pet in case they don't love the aroma. Number 2, run your diffuser for maybe shorter periods of time and use fewer drops in the diffuser. For example, if you routinely would put 4 to 6 drops of oil in your diffuser, consider trying just 2 to 3 drops if you have a pet present. Another idea would be to use the sporadic setting where it only puts a blast out every 15 seconds or every minute or whatever, instead of the full blast constant stream of vapor. That would be another way. And then tip number 3, make sure the diffuser is in a very secure place where pets aren't able to tip it over. And I think cats are notorious for doing that, getting up on the counter and tipping something over, because you don't want that water to spill out and then them to lap it up, right? Okay, so I have something. Do you want me to talk about my other topic too, Melissa, right away, or do you want me to wait and go in order?
I think you can go right ahead. That's great.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you some substitutions, because there are some essential oils that are pets are a little more sensitive to. So remember, they have that really great sense of smell. So because their sense of smell is really sensitive when you're diffusing, be sure to use a water-based diffuser like the Lumo or the Roam or the Petal. And like I said before, only diffuse 2 to 4 drops at a time, and do it in an open area where they can leave the room. So here are some oils that we can avoid with our pets, but really good substitutions that will do the same job, okay? Instead of tea tree or melaleuca, which is antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral, try geranium, arborvitae, myrrh, or cedarwood. Okay, instead of wintergreen, which is really good for inflammation and joint pain, try copaiba, frankincense, or aromatouch. And then instead of cassia, which is really good for immune support, you could use On Guard, oregano, or thyme. And just a reminder to watch for that link. I'll put that in there in just a minute, and then you can sign up for that pet webinar, and then you'll be an animal essential oil expert.
Thanks so much, Laura. I am going to talk next about self-selection. And I know that sounds really weird. We talked about it once on Mama and Mimi, and we had an episode and a foul word may have been uttered by one of us. But anyway, there went our G rating on Mama and Mimi. But I did want to let you know that it is very wise to have an animal select the oil that you are going to use on them. And there is a really easy way to do that. You can offer them. So for example, if I have a dog with some kind of a belly ache or belly problem, I can hold up two different rollers, each with the top on. You don't even have to take the top off. And you can just gently hold it up to the dog, and they will, if they like it, they will move towards it. They will sniff it. They might lick the air, a cat or a dog, right around it. If they don't like it, they're going to turn their head, they're going to move away. So chances are great if you give an animal 2 or 3 choices and you give them go towards them, they will let you know by their body language, and you know their body language better than anybody else. So you're going to know if it's something they like, and then you can proceed on using that oil on that animal appropriately.
Okay, I have a really fun visual for selecting oils based on body systems that you're trying to support. So I can share this probably most easily. I'll put in the chat box, but into Fierce Oilers as well. So look at this, there's just a lot of different ways to break it down. This might make a lot of sense to your brain, right? Like, okay, I want to support the cardiovascular system. Here's some oils to reach for, so on and so forth. I realize that's pretty straightforward, but I thought that might be a helpful categorization for some of you in looking at it that way. So I wanted to make sure that you had that resource. See, I'm very helpful when it comes to pets. You're welcome. I don't know, who is it off to next?
I think me.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, I'm going to give a testimony in regards to using a certain oil blend for liver support. So I know my sister-in-law's on this call, and I actually, she started using this before I did on a regular basis. So my dog Chance was diagnosed with diabetes almost 2 years ago, and we thought we were going to lose him. And I wish I would have been more proactive at the time when we first found out his liver enzymes were elevated, because Heather did for her grand doggy, and that made all the difference. And that dog has been able to stay off of any prescription meds for the dog. So I started using Zendocrine, the soft gels, and the recommendation. So Zendocrine, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, humans take this regularly for liver support, and there's a Zendocrine, which has 2 to 3 drops of the Zendocrine blend in there. And that is, let's see, let me read this: rosemary, cilantro, juniper berry, which are known for their detoxifying properties and the ability to support your healthy liver and kidney function. And then there's tangerine and geranium that have purifying effects. So humans can take this on a regular basis. You can do it in your water. However, it's pretty strong tasting. So I myself, when I take it, I like it in the gel caps, and it's super easy to give your dog. I tried it in my dog's water and he would not drink it. And I put a drop in his food and he wouldn't eat it. So the soft gel is really tiny, and you can put it in a little blob of sugar-free or no sugar peanut butter. And that's how I give it to Chance. Now for a dog under 25 pounds, they recommend 1/3 of a capsule twice a day. What I've done for him, and it's really worked to keep his blood sugar stable, because I take it regularly, and I give him one of these every other day. And I have not had to increase his insulin in over a year now. So I am thrilled, and he doesn't mind taking it at all. So I can put in, if anybody has any questions, I can give you the dosage. Again, I'm not a vet, so check with your vet. The vet that we take Chance to says go for it. She just says, I just don't have time to research this a lot. So if you feel it's something that and you've researched and you want to give your dog, you have my blessing. So we've been giving this to Chance, and it has helped him a great deal. He's alive for 2 years now, which is, a lot of dogs don't make it that long, and he's going strong. So that's my testimony on Zendocrine. And if you want, I can also segue into the other thing I was going to talk about. Okay, so a lot of dogs have issues. I know schnauzers. I've been a schnauzer owner for 50 years, and schnauzers and poodles and a lot of small terriers have issues with gingivitis, periodontitis, or gum disease, bone loss. and have to have teeth extracted. And unfortunately, Chance did have to have some taken out of his mouth not too long ago, because when you're diabetic, that's one of the complications. But other dogs, he's the first dog I've ever had to have teeth pulled on. So what you want to use is, it's a little tricky brushing their teeth, but if you start doing it when they're puppies, for those of you who have little pups, Don, excuse me, I'm on live, so you're kind of making noise. You can either make a spray, and I have a spray that I've made using, let me see here, it's for dogs, it's 8 to 10 drops of On Guard, which is our protective blend, and it has rosemary, cloves, cinnamon, wild orange, and I forget the other one. But great for humans, great for dogs as well. And then I add myrrh in there, and this one I'm going to give us a small bottle as one of our free items that we're raffling off tonight. So this goes in a 2-ounce bottle, and I fill the rest with coconut oil. So again, in a 2-ounce glass bottle, it's 8 to 10 drops. I use 8 for Chance of the On Guard, and then 4 drops to 5 drops of the myrrh. Myrrh is amazing in people's mouths, and it's great in dogs' mouths too. So you just shake it up, and I spray it on his toothbrush, and I brush that on once a day, or alternate. And then I have a toothpaste that I got actually from Dr. Rourke. And I can put the recipe in there for that, but it's the key in that one is a bentonite clay, and I put a drop of peppermint, a drop of myrrh, and a couple other things, and then I brush that with a brush on his teeth the alternating days, and he's been good. So hey, we take care of our own teeth. You start them young, and they don't mind it, and Chance actually likes the toothpaste the best out of anything that I've ever used on his mouth. So there we go. Go doTERRA.
That's awesome. Thanks, Cherry. So I know you guys are like, okay, enough with Dr. Janet Rourke, but it's never enough because she's so great. So yeah, we heard her speak at convention, like a few times, but she's just like, I think it brings a lot of validity, right? To have a veterinarian being like, this is a huge part of my practice. She offers so much information. So I'm going to share a link after I'm done talking into the chat. She has this really great ebook that's like in Google Doc form of essential oil safety for pets. And she goes into a lot of really good details. And you can, if you subscribe to her like email list for free, you get this ebook, but I'll still put it in the chat. But I just like definitely check her out. Melissa talked about the Facebook groups, but yeah, her email list is free too, and she sends some really good information pretty regularly, so shout out to her. Okay, so I'm going to talk about fleas and ticks. So flea and tick collar. So I was looking some stuff up. So my family doesn't have any pets, but I grew up with golden retrievers like my whole life. And in the Northwoods, it was like a normal summer night to just like have the dog sit in front of you and pull ticks off. And now I'm like, huh. But that was like a normal activity for us growing up. So get out your oils and try to like lessen that. Okay. So I found a couple recipes. I found a recipe that involved using some oils and soaking it in water with a couple drops of essential oil in a bandana, and then wrapping the bandana around the dog. But honestly, I feel like that would be pretty strong right by the dog's nose. I could be wrong, but that was just my impression. So maybe if it's facing the back, but honestly, I think if the collar is small, that would be more helpful, but a bandana just seemed big to me. It is an option. But what I really liked was the idea of a spray or a roller. So Melissa talked about like applying the oils topically on the dog, right? So if you have a spray before you're going outside in, tick season, right? Spray your dog's legs before they go outside. If you're going to be walking through the woods, legs and tummy, that will help with that. Okay, so a few things. Lavender, TerraShield, and cedarwood. Those were in the, kind of across the board in the recipes that I was looking at. So like Melissa said, dilution is important. So I would probably do, if you were doing like a,
one of those small spray bottles, I would probably do 3 drops of lavender, 2 drops of Shield, and 1 drop of cedarwood in like a larger spray bottle. And I'll put that in the chat as well. So play around with it, right? Like it's the same thing we do with ourselves, with our families. It's like, hey, do you feel like that's too strong? Maybe it's not strong enough. Play around with it. But I think it was Laura gave us some really good tips on how to make sure your pet is comfortable, right? Gauge their reaction, but definitely don't fear in using the oils on your pet.
Okay, Melissa, it's you. Thanks, Em.
Thanks, guys. Okay, so if you have a dog that has a bad smell about it, should we say noxious gas? Can we say that? I don't even know what people say about their dogs and bad smells, but we had a dog living with us for 3 months that had moved from like an area that she knew what she could eat and what she couldn't. She came here and she just kind of went off the rails, and the smell in my house was horrible. And so what we did was we did the test on the tamer and the digestion, and she chose the digestion. And the reason I knew that I could use it was I have a list that you can find online of the top 10 oils that are safe to use for dogs. And I will tell you that 8 of the top 10 oils are in our everyday kits, like the home essentials, the basic kits, guys. So peppermint, frankincense, lemon, lavender, oregano, On Guard, digestion, and even breathe. All right, so those are 8 oils that most of us have in our collections. And then Balance Grounding Blend and Serenity Calming Blend are the ones that are added into that. So I knew from my little cheat sheet that I could use the digestion. So I rolled her over. She's a Vizsla, rolled her over and took my little touch that's diluted and safe for even the youngest of children and rolled it on her belly and rubbed it in. We waited 10 minutes and she was sitting by the door waiting to go out. She went out and like copious amounts of material came out of that dog, and it was so much better. It was so much better. So I want to encourage you to use these regularly if you have a pet that has been consuming things that they should not consume. And then the next thing that I wanted to talk about was chickens. All right, some of our people, how many people in this group have chickens? Is anybody raising chickens? Let me know. And Amy's raising chickens, right? Little chickens named Zella and Whitney. Anybody else? Anybody?
People love chickens. They hide them. There's somebody probably, Em has some in her closet. Don't worry about it.
I was hoping somebody had chickens, but I'm going to tell you because this is recorded. There's a group online called rootsandboots.com. Sorry, Amy. Come on.
Roots and boots. Most people say roots, I think. Roots and boots.
Which do you say? Anyway, she puts oregano in her chicken water to help keep them healthy. She puts 1 drop into 2 gallons. Okay. That's not very much, takes very little. She uses frankincense for skin irritations. So like if feathers have been plucked, right? A drop in 1 drop of frankincense and 15 drops of fractionated coconut oil. For flies, she makes a spray. She used 30 to 40 drops of peppermint with 2.5 gallons of water and sprays around the perimeter of the coop. She uses tea tree if they've had mites. Who knew that mice and chickens are a thing? It helps ward them off. She actually makes a spray with 20 drops of peppermint and 10 drops of tea tree oil per gallon of water. And she sprays inside the coop when the chickens are out. So you'd have to go like, you get them out, and then you spray and you make sure they stay out for a little while so it dries. All right. And you can also use it very carefully on a chicken as long as you avoid their head. All right. Lemon cleans and disinfects the coop. So you would use 30 drops of lemon oil in 8 ounces of water in a spray bottle. You first scrub out the coop, and then you can spray it liberally and let it air out again. Do this when the chickens are not in the coop, okay? The last thing I wanted to talk to you about is cats. I know we have some cat people on here. Yeah, I see a little response there. Oh yeah, Dallas is like showing me her cat. So I'm going to talk to you for just a second about the reason I love, once again, Dr. Janet Rourke. We could just have a whole party around her. But on
I want to
her,
make a commission off of all these referrals.
right, on her paid site, she's got all these different guides, and one is myth busting for cats. So she has the top myths for cats, and I'm just going to rattle through these, and she debunks them all. And she lists studies. It's just amazing. But the first one is using oils causes liver or kidney damage. Myth. Citrus oils are toxic to cats. Myth. Pine oils are toxic to cats. That's a myth. Lavender is toxic. Another myth. Never pet your cat after using essential oils. A big myth. And then it just goes on and on. So I would encourage you, if you have a cat or a llama or cattle or horses, she's got all that information on there. And yes, I know that those animals too are people's pets. So I just wanted to encourage you. And also, Amy put in the comment section earlier that Dr. Rourke just did a recording the other day explaining how to approach the 4th of July and fireworks with your pets. So, and that's on YouTube. It's in the chat. And I would encourage you to look at that and listen ahead of time so that you're prepared. It's available to all.
Okay, I have one very important realization from our time together. If I die and come back in a new life, I want to be Jerry Huffman's pet. That's all I know. I for sure want to be her pet because I have never, it's like luxurious. So that is my main takeaway. Okay. I know, I was like, I almost fell off my chair. It's like, what minute mark was she sharing it? Because that was
I
amazing.
haven't even shared all the other things that I do, which I won't, but he's well taken care of.
Jerry takes care of Chance better than most people.
Heather is the queen of taking care of her dogs and grand doggies. They're amazing. So Heather's just the bomb when it comes to taking care of her pets, her doggies. So
I think I have like a new thought, you know, like compared to how I take care of my kids, I think I've decided that people might love their pets more than I love my children too.
Do you brush their teeth with bentonite clay?
Unfortunately, no. I know. I'm going to have to up my game. I'm feeling a little sweaty. Okay. Who is ready for some raffles? Well, we're getting ready for that and sharing their screen. We want to make sure that you know that we're all about education, right? We want to make sure people have community and they're able to learn about their oils no matter where they are, that they can join online. Who wants to have a doTERRA oil that they don't know how to use? No one. So we do this once a month for 30 minutes. Next month is sweet summertime, and it's July 19th, and I'm going to put the link to register in the chat box. And I mean, once a month is like kind of cool, but not really. What about every Saturday morning being in your room with your coffee? How amazing would that be, right? So we do that too for 30 minutes. Essential skincare is what's coming up this Saturday. In the link that I'm putting in the chat, you can see all of our upcoming CE classes. So go check those out. They're amazing. Okay. Everything we do is 30 minutes online. So go check it out. All right, Mom, share your screen, or Amy Bob.
Eric is going to share how she takes care of Chance's skin.
Oh, did I cut her off?
Wait, what do you mean? No, I mean on Saturday. On the skincare.
Oh. Okay, mister. I thought, and I was starting to feel real bad there.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
Okay, hold on.
Well, I think we're raffling off a spa session for your pet with Jerry Huffman. There's a new addition to the, okay, the breath spray. Let's start with that. Who's going to win the breath spray? Okay, your picture in the middle is too much though.
And congratulations. Amy, you want to tell what you need to do?
Yep. And can you make sure that you send your message, like in a Facebook message, or send your address to Melissa, please. Let's do the owie spray that you made next, Mom.
Peggy Brager.
The seasonal spray.
Diffusers.
The calming spray is next, just in time for the 4th of July.
Carry me in. Congratulations.
Bug repeller is next, also perfect for life right now.
Doris Bell.
And then an oregano
For the chicken lovers.
for the chicken lovers.
For the water of the chicken or the llama. Kathy Smythe.
So don't forget to send your address to Melissa. If you don't send your address, we assume that you weren't on and you don't get your prize. So you have to do that. Melissa, Amy Van Hout wants to know why your bottles were partially full that you posted before on Facebook.
That's a great answer. So some of them called for fractionated coconut oil. So I put the fractionated coconut oil in and you can put the water in. Sorry about that. It's still going. And others just have oils in them and you can put the water on top of that. So for my bottles, if you get one of these, you just add water right up to the neck and they're good to go.
Amazing. It's a self-serve giveaway. All right, everybody, we'll see you next month for sweet, sweet summertime. Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.